So now the email's all happy. How about your phone system? What happens if the power's off in the office to your phone system? Most small offices kind of start out with some service provided by AT&T. It's got a couple of lines, and they provide the voicemail system, right? And in that case, the voicemail is still going to work if it's hosted by AT&T. If you've outsourced voicemail to them. But then you need something a little more robust. So now you've got this thing hanging in the closet called the PBX, right, or the phone system, or the voicemail system, whatever you want to call it. It's in the closet, the phone line's come in there, and that's where the voicemail is stored. That's where it controls all the extensions in the office. And that requires power. And when power's off for a week, I don't know about you guys, but we were down for like 8 days in 2004 for our particular office. And the phone line may or may not be down. Even if the phone line's up, it's just ringing and ringing and ringing to the person calling. Nobody's answering the phone because there's no power there on the PBX. Nothing there. And then, okay, the office is unhappy. For those of you who aren't familiar with eCalton, which is the former name of our company, we were above the Panera Bread building in the Miracle Mile area, and had a little hole happen in the roof in 2004, and had to move out of the office, and had this nice green stuff growing on the walls and everything else when we got back in there. So you don't just take the PBX, walk it over to the new office, because we were like everybody else scrambling for some new space. New space was kind of hard to find. We got some. Hung it on the wall, but what's the problem? AT&T's still running phone calls over the other building. 38 days it took AT&T, or Bell South at the time, to get that number, or that line officially moved. They were kind of busy. I give them, frankly, they had a lot going on. People just wanted their service back up. So what happens to your phone when you're suddenly somewhere else and you can't communicate? Everybody's going to have a different answer to this issue, and there's obviously different levels of cost and investment that are required, and you've got to make a business decision. What is the return on the investment to make some type of redundancy and things and all these types of things? It's important that you look at the risk, you look at, but you got to understand what the risks are in order to make a good decision from a business standpoint. So what happens if you have to move? I mean, yeah, they can forward the numbers and things. But there's new technology now. It's not brand new. VOIP stands for Voice over IP. Computer guys always have to pronounce things, right? They don't say VOIP, they say VOIP. Why is that? Did you guys know that the letters SQL are pronounced sequel? It's the strangest thing ever, right? Who came up with it? I don't know who these guys are, but they have to pronounce things, okay? So VOIP phone systems. VOIP uses the internet to route your phone traffic. And there are juncture points where the internet connects with the traditional phone network, and they hand those calls back and forth. Why is VoIP so exciting? It's a lot less expensive. There's a lot of infrastructure investments in the internet going on right now. But what happens with VoIP, because it's an internet product, you can now host it somewhere outside of your office, and you simply use your internet connection in order to have your phones talk to your PBX. The PBX, remember, is the system that handles, when I type in the extension, which phone does it go to, it manages the voicemail, it manages the auto attendant features. That's what the PBX box is doing for you, for those who haven't shopped for phone systems in a while. All right, so now it's in the data center, your office is down, your phone system is still running. Okay? Data centers are designed, we put ours in a data center in Melbourne that is designed to handle Category 4 hurricane strength winds. It's got a week's worth of diesel fuel on site to run the generators, so it keeps the power up. It's got redundant connections to the internet. This is what the data center is. It's got physical security, so nobody can just walk in there and mess with the equipment. So this is what a data center, the kinds of things that it offers you, these types of benefits. Some of the advantages of a VoIP system are Vonage is a VoIP system. For those who have seen the Vonage ads, it's a residential VoIP system. If you're looking for a point of reference there, uses the internet to connect out to some other phone system. You can take your handsets, like this handset. I don't believe they have a VoIP system here at the chain, but for our office, we use one. Can take that handset anywhere I can get internet connection. I can take it to Mom's house, plug it in the back of Mom's router, and I am connected to the office phone system. Somebody types my extension, that phone will ring. Really nice from an evacuation standpoint if you need to move the office. Really easy if you have to move to temporary quarters for 6 months. You know, you no longer have to, you got to move the phones, get an internet line up in the new office, of course, but then you can be up and running. But you can also, with the VoIP system, turn a laptop into an extension. It's called a soft phone, but with software and you get a headset, now your laptop, you can go into Starbucks with a wireless connection and you can have a phone on your system. Maybe familiar with Skype. That's it's again, it's using the internet. Question? Yes.
I have Ring Central, which I think is similar to that for my 800 number and my fax number. I can go in there and tell the phone where to ring to, but I can also use it right from my computer. And
There's a lot of services coming out now that are, and they all have some different pros and cons and you know, expandabilities and everything else. So I'm not familiar with that one specifically.
that would be a similar thing, because I didn't access the whole thing.
It does sound like it's a similar.
And it can send my faxes in an email form too.
And that's,
so I don't lose.
I'm going to talk about the actual here on the next slide.
Okay.
Sure.
Now, from a VoIP standpoint, some of the sunny day, shall we call it, when you're not dealing with a disaster, there are some sunny day advantages that might make it worth looking at these. If you've got a branch office, you know, right now you got to have 2 phone systems, right? Or you got to have a real expensive connection between these offices. But really, it's hard to transfer from headquarters to the Vero office to the Sebastian office. It's really hard. I can't transfer a call. You know, I can't move that call. I can't conference them in. Well, maybe I can do a 3-way call there. But oh, sorry, call this number and you can get so and so. All right. So with the VoIP system, again, all you need is an internet connection between those offices, and now they're all part of one master system. Blue Tangerine Solutions has a distributed staff. We have our primary office in Melbourne. We've got people who work in home offices in Vero Beach. We have somebody in Atlanta. We have somebody in Toronto. They all have the phones in their offices, and you call our main number and you get whoever you need to get. And you can't tell that we're all in the same room, the same building. It eliminated the people in the home offices. When we first had home offices, we had to get second lines from Bell South to get their business number. And everybody had a different number. Every home office had a separate number. You know, all those went away. So all of a sudden, X dollars per month went away off the phone bills because we didn't need all those lines anymore. Those are all done over the internet connection that they already had. They already have the DSL or the cable connections, and those work fine. So you can potentially save money even on a sunny day looking at the VoIP system, depending on how your office is set up. Sure.
Does that work, so DSL and cable, does that work with the T1?
Oh yeah, any internet connection. You do have to do some bandwidth tests because you are going to, with voice data, normal internet traffic, if it's slow for whatever reason, it just kind of waits and tries again until, but with a phone call, you can't do that because all of a sudden you get some stuttering or whatever. So you do need to do some tests to make sure you have enough bandwidth depending on the number of extensions, the number of simultaneous calls you're expecting, the other type of data you're using on that particular network. So you may need to look at a little more bandwidth depending, but the T1 will run good bandwidth and you should be okay if you don't have thousands, if you're not running a call center. You know,
Well, we have a T1 line dedicated for our phone system, but the problem is every time we lose power, we lose a phone because we have it locally.
Right.
So with the T1, you can still have it in your office?
Well, what happens in that situation is the actual PBX where the call comes in from the outside world is in the data center. So if you lose your connectivity in the office, your extension won't ring, and it'll be just like you didn't answer the phone. So it'll go to voicemail. So the outside person is gonna punch in your extension. You're down. The voicemail takes over, but to them it just means you're out of the office or something, and you can call in with your cell phone and check your messages, or do whatever you need to do to access that PBX while you wait for whether it's a power issue or a
Keep in mind, the weak link